Okay, I think we have enough participants. Now, guys, if you have questions during the webinar, so there is a Q&A group chat. So in the bottom left, you will open the chat area, and you have the room chat where you can just chat with each other. This is the general one, and then you'll see a Q&A. If you don't see the Q&A and the technical support chats, please refresh your page and you will see it. Okay, amazing. All right, so I think we can get started. So first of all, like I said, welcome to the Monday Mention. Let's talk about our agenda. So the webinar is around 1 hour. Sometimes we finish 5 minutes earlier. Sometimes we push it 5 minutes late. So our agenda for today is we're going to discuss new features for about 40 minutes. And then I do want to leave some time for Q&A. So please leave your questions in the Q&A box, and I will review them at the end of the webinar. I'll go over the questions and we'll try to answer all of them. A question that always comes up is if this session is recorded. So yes, it is recording, and each of the participants will get an email at the end. So you guys will be able to, you will receive the recording afterwards. Cool. So we're going to talk about some new features that were released in Q2, a little bit of Q3 in Monday CRM. So I'm going to talk about the list of features, but then obviously we'll open the platform and we'll see them in live. Now, for those of you who are a bit new to Monday CRM, maybe are not familiar with some of the features in general, don't worry, because as I'm showing you as I'm showing you the new features, I will also talk about the feature in general, explain a little bit about it, how it can connect to your to specific use cases. So you will learn about the features in general, as well as looking at what's new. So just to go over the list, we're going to talk about, So we're going to talk about emails and activities API. We're going to review some of the emails and activities new additions and mass email new additions. We're going to review the new import experience, talk a little bit about Monday AI, and our new item page widgets. All right, so let's get started. So let me reshare my screen and show you my Monday account. Okay, so I think we should get started with the Monday emails and activities API. Let me share my screen again. Let me see. Okay, so I'll start with the API. So for those of you here in the audience that are a little bit more technical or have someone technical at hand, we just launched a new API inside the emails and activities. So the documentation can be found in the API documentation, and you can see here all the information. So I'll show you emails and activities if anyone here doesn't know what I'm talking about. And I will say that up until now, with Monday API, we were able to integrate and create different migrations or API connections onto the board itself. But now we are actually able to integrate with emails and activities, which means that if you guys have, for example, old data that you want to migrate from your previous CRM, from Excel, from wherever it might be, you can now do it by using our emails and activities API. And basically this timeline of events can be stored with your information. So this is regarding our Monday API. All right, let's now dig into the actual features. So I want to talk about emails and activities new additions. So before I discuss about the new additions, let's have a small brief. So as we all know, this is our lovely Monday CRM. And whenever we want to create all the communication externally, internally with the client. We want to open up the item card. And this is where we have our emails and activities app. So with emails and activities, we're able to send, receive emails, and we are also able to create different activities. This tool allows me to keep everything centralized, all my communication with the client in one place. And no matter where I go on my Monday account, on my Monday CRM, I am always able to see all the communication, all the emails, the meetings notes, the call summaries, everything on the emails and activities. So the new additions that we added are, we are now able, as of up until not late ago, we were able to only connect our email accounts, so our Gmail and Outlook. And as of now, if you guys check out this button of integrate, we have a few new cool additions. So first of all, you're able to connect your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar. What does it mean? It means that if you now have a meeting booked with this specific client, for example, Gordon, so every time this meeting is booked in my calendar, it will also be reflected in my emails and activities. This is a huge help, as it's going to keep everything centralized. You don't have to manually come to your CRM and start inputting the meeting details. It will be automatically created in your timeline of activities. Now, this is the new feature as of now. And of course, in the upcoming queues, hopefully next queue, stay tuned for my next webinar. We are going to create the Google Calendar to work both ways, which means that you will be able to create the meeting directly from Monday emails and activities, and it will be reflected in your calendar along with the participants, a Zoom link, and so on and so forth. So we have the addition of the calendar, which is great, and we have a new addition, which I'm personally so excited about, guys, because I run my Zoom meetings with clients all the time, and I always go and copy paste the recording to my Monday board. So this is a new Zoom integration that we just launched. And if you connect and integrate your Zoom account, it means that every time you conduct a Zoom meeting with this specific client, so if I just had a Zoom meeting with Gordon, it will also be added here with the recording of the Zoom, with the transcript. So this is amazing because this really allows you to keep all type of communication, whether it's email, whether it's a Zoom meeting, whether it's a calendar event, all inside the emails and activities, centralized in one place. And again, guys, this is just the beginning. What I was saying earlier about the API, it's giving you the power to build whatever you want. So if you have your own tool that you want to integrate into this email, and I don't know if you're using like your own meeting tool or a caller that you're using, you can use the API to create a block of activity and bring in the summary, the recording, or whatever it might be. And of course, we will keep adding more and more native integrations. So again, stay tuned. For now, we have Zoom, we have Outlook, Google, and of course, more to come. So this is the updates regarding emails and activities integrations. Another really cool feature, actually two cool small features, but you know how something small can make a huge change. So we added a few things into the timeline of emails and activities. So the first thing is, if you see here the block of the activity or the email, whatever it might be, we can click on the three dots. And the first thing is we can pin this activity to the top. So when is this important? If I just had an important, I don't know, discovery call with my prospect, and he gave me all the details, and I always want to keep it on top. So this will allow me to do that. And another cool thing is we added a reminder into the activity or the email. So let's say that I just got an email, but I don't want to reply now. I'm too busy, but I don't want to forget about it. Okay, no problem. I can set a reminder and remind myself tomorrow, in 3 hours, and so on. And so these are a few cool additions. And the reminder, the notification, will be added here in this notification center, so you will get that notification on your emails and activities. All right, cool. So I hope you are familiar with this feature. I hope you like it as much as I do. And again, guys, put your questions in the chat and I'll make sure to answer them. Another thing I want to discuss is the emails and activities automations. When we use the emails and activities, this is, like I said, amazing visibility. It gives us the option to see everything that ever happened with this client or this prospect. But we also want to create some different automations that will help me manage my CRM a bit better and more automatic. So let's close this. And on the board that we want to do it. So in my example, I am on the leads board. And as you can see, I created a group called hot leads. And I have the new leads, qualified, disqualified. So what I want to do is I want to use the emails and activities automations, which again, by the way, only exists on the Monday CRM product. I can go to the Integrate Center and I will search for emails. And I will open the emails and activities by Monday. And I will see here the different recipes that I have that I can create automations based on emails and activities. So what does it mean? I can use the information or the blocks inside the emails and activities and create triggers and actions on it. Why am I showing it to you today? Because maybe some people here are already familiar with it. Maybe some of you already use it, but we did add a few new recipes inside. So check them out and see how they can help you manage your CRM better, faster, and make it more automatic, less manual. So a few of my favorite recipes of emails and activities is whenever a new email reply or whenever a new email is received, I can change a status, I can notify, I can move it to a group. So this is what I like to do. I like to say when incoming email is received from this person, from this email address, then move it to the hot leads group. So now what is going to happen is, let's say if Edwin just sent me an email, the email will, I have another automations that will change the status to new email received, and then it will move to the hot leads group. So this is really cool because you can use it to prioritize your leads. So whenever you have a new email, you just move it to the top. You can also use it to kind of like open your day and see, okay, what leads should I be looking at first? Let's look at the person who just opened my email. Okay, I can have another automation that says that whenever the email was opened, then change the status to email opened. So this is something that I really recommend. A lot of the clients that I spoke to are heavily using it. And by the way, if you do ask yourself, how can I track the email and understand that it's been opened? So when we send an email from emails and activities, we can click here to see email tracking. So if you are using emails and activities, you probably know that you can see who opened your email and who didn't. But another cool thing that we just added is the fact that we can also see whether or not a link that you sent in the email was clicked by the person or not. So if, for example, you just sent an email and you sent them your intro email, and then you gave them your, I don't know, calendar link, right? So you sent them a link, then you will be able to see if this person saw your email and also if this person clicked on the link inside the email. So this can be some kind of level of engagement that you do, that you have within emails and activities, and base your interactions or your prioritization based on these elements. All right, amazing. So we talked about emails and activities. Let's go to the slides. So we talked about emails and activities API. We talked about the additions in the emails and activities. And now let's talk about mass emails. Okay, I have to say mass emails maybe is my favorite feature, but I kind of say it on every CRM feature, so I'll try to stay um, objective. But this truly is a lifesaver, especially for me, because I always send emails to clients. I try to get interviews with clients. Um, I try to talk to them to get feedback, things like that. So I use it a lot. But basically, the mass emails, if you are not familiar with it, it gives you the ability to send mass emails to up to 2,000 emails a day, depending, of course, on your email provider. And you can send up to 500 emails at once from any board inside your CRM that contains an email address. So in my example, I have my contacts board on my CRM, and I have for every contact an email address. So, of course, you can select, for example, only contacts that have been engaging with you, or you can choose only contacts from this region or from that product, and so on and so forth. So, we're going to select the contacts, and then we can choose to send them a mass email. Now, what does it mean, a mass email? It means that this email is going to be sent to 18 different recipients, in my case, from my email address. And of course, each email is going to be sent separately. Also, in my case, I can use templates, just like I can use in emails and activities. And also here on mass emails, I can track whether this email was opened, how many times it was opened, whether the link was clicked, and how many times it was clicked. So this is super useful, especially for a use case like mine, where I want to schedule a meeting, or I want to, maybe for salespeople where they want to, I don't know, send some prospects a new deal, or schedule a meeting with them, or check out this new feature they just released. Try to engage with your client and see actually the response rate, or see the engagement rate. So this is amazing. And part of the mass email is also the fact that in mass email, we have the HTML editor. If you are familiar with it, so you can just create an HTML code, use AI to generate it for you for an easy life. And you can incorporate an HTML email inside your mass email. You can also use here the AI assistant, which, by the way, is also on emails and activities, to try to get AI to help us to craft the email better, faster. And of course, we can send it from multiple email addresses. So I can send it from my email, or if I have a shared email address with a colleague of mine, or a shared email address that is a general email address, I can also use that. Great. So wonderful. I just sent the email to 18 different people. And once the email is done, I will send to everyone. I will get a notification. So I hope you all are familiar with this feature. If not, now you are. So a few additions that we added to the mass email capabilities is a few things. So first of all, we added the ability to send a test email, meaning if you craft this email and you use your email, you use some auto-populated fields from the board, hi, first name, from company XYZ, title, we always want to make sure that we don't make any mistakes. So you can send a test email to yourself before you send it to everyone. And you can also schedule send. You know how sometimes you work late at night, but you don't want people to get your email at 1 a.m. So no problem. You can schedule it to the next day morning. So they think you are an early bird. Send it at 7 a.m. So these are the two new additions, small but life-changing additions for mass email usages. Okay, so I think our email was sent. Let's check out the analytics. Let's track our mass email. So over here in the left pane, you will see the mass email tracking. So once we click on it, we can actually see all the emails, all the mass emails that I have sent. And we have some analytics on those and statistics on those emails. So we can see here, first of all, who sent it, the status, if it was sent or if it was failed, how many recipients, what is the delivered rate, the open rate, and the click rate, right? So remember, I told you that we can now track how many people have clicked my link. And we will also be able to see here the email addresses of the people who clicked the links and how many times. So it really gives you this detailed information for you to be able to later on say, okay, I see this prospect that I just sent the mass email to. They actually clicked on the link 4 times already. He must be super engaged. I better contact them now. And you send them an email right away. So this really allows you to see the engagement of your prospect and basically base your follow-ups based on their engagement. Okay, amazing. So these were a few of the mass email additions. And of course, stay tuned because we keep adding new features, and new capabilities to the CRM. All right, I want to show you another small update that for me also made a big change, which is the new import to board. So right now, when you want to import from Excel into an existing board, you are able to click here, import. In my case, I'm importing contacts. I can upload my CSV. Wait, let me search for it. All right, so it gives me a view of the columns that will be imported. Now, first of all, the UI, the experience is a lot more convenient because you can actually imagine how your board is going to look like. And from the columns over here, you can select to which column you want to match. You want to match the Excel column into the Monday column. Now, the addition here is the fact that if you do not have a column on the board, but you do want to import this column from your Excel, then if you just leave it like that and you don't choose any column to match it to, then it will create the new column on your board. So if I go ahead and continue and start the import, it will then add a new column to those columns that I left unmatched. And of course, if you don't want to bring this into the board, you can just select to not import this column. Okay, so once again, this I want to import to my phone. This is going to be the email. But let's say that this, for example, I want it to be added as a new column. So I'm going to leave it blank. I'm going to click continue. And here is where you can handle your duplicates. So you can choose to add the new import as a new group, and it won't review the items on your board. You can, but what you can do is you can overwrite, meaning you can replace duplicated items that match a specific column. What does it mean? I'm bringing my values from Excel, and let's say I already have a contact on my board called Julia, but the Julia that I have on my board doesn't have a phone number. The Julia on my Excel has a phone number. So if I choose to refresh and overwrite, it will basically find those details and add them to my board. So it's basically refreshing the items on the board with the new data that I'm bringing from the Excel. And what you need to do is you need to choose the column that will be the unique identifier that will be recognized that the row on your Excel is the actual item on your board. So in my case, I will choose to be the email, and then it will start importing, and all the new contacts will be added to the new group, and all the existing contacts will be updated on my board. So now if I had no phone number on Amber, it was added. So this is the new import experience. I think the new adding of a column, here it is. So this is the new column that I added. I didn't name it, but as you can see, it was added with the values. So this can be a huge time saver. So you don't have to add the columns on the board, go back to your Excel, and so on. All right. Okay. I think we're pretty much on time. We're okay, half an hour. All right, let's talk about Monday AI. I'm not sure who here has already familiarized himself with Monday AI, but it offers so many capabilities. And I just wanted to show you here a glimpse of what Monday AI has to offer and how it can help you manage your CRM. So in my example, I created on my leads board some kind of metrics. If you are familiar with it, the MEDPIC. So I created some criteria to qualify my lead. So for example, I have here the decision criteria, and I want AI to basically summarize my summary points into decision criteria. So in my example, I have here a summary of 3-4 sentences of what happened during the call. And then I can ask a Monday AI to categorize my summary into the metrics that the client is looking to get, into the decision criteria, like what is the different metrics that the client is looking for in order to make the decision. So let's see how I do it. So in my case, I have here a long text column. Here I have a drop-down column, and I can go to the drop-down column, and as you can see, this option, autofill with AI. And remember, this is a drop-down column, so the only option it will give me is to categorize. So in my case, it will ask me which text column I'm looking to categorize. So in my case, I will choose this paper process, and you can see here a preview of the result to make sure that this is exactly what you want to do. And then I will click apply. Okay, so now let's just imagine that I just had this call, and I put here my notes. During the call, the client expressed strong interest in our services, but raised concerns about staying within the budget. They were worried about the cost. And as you can see, the decision criteria was automatically categorized by AI. And it categorized that the decision criteria is relevant to financial consideration and implementation and deployment. Wow, this is such a time saver. I can put in different text. I can put in different parts of summary, parts of my discovery call that I made with the client, and it will automatically categorize it in here. So remember, just go to the column settings, column 3 dots menu, and search for autofill with AI. Now, this is for status columns, drop-down columns, and if you add a text column or maybe a long text column, and you go to autofill with AI, then you can configure the AI to not just categorize, but other options that are available, like detecting a sentiment, improving a certain text, summarize, translating. This is so cool. So if you're getting leads, or if you have maybe sales reps that are having easier time to write in their own language, you can ask AI you can have them write in their own language the summary of the call, and then AI will translate it. And of course, you can also create your own custom action. So for example, you can say, take this due date and this status, and write a follow-up email suggestion for me to type. So you can really tell AI how to use it. Now, guys, just Google Monday AI or click on our support page to get assistance, to get ideas on how to use Monday AI. Our community is also filled with examples for other people that are using it. and really try to explore it and see what you can achieve with it. So this is really amazing. Okay. Let's talk about our very last feature for today. But don't go anywhere, because I will talk about two massive features that are coming up in the next few months. So our last feature, item page widgets. This is a big one. I was waiting for it for a long time. I've been in Monday for 5 years, and trust me, I've been asking for it since day one. So the item widgets. First of all, before I show it, I hope you are all familiar with our amazing dashboards and the widgets that you can add on those dashboards. You can add numbers widget, you can add a chart widget, different type of charts, timeline widgets if you're managing something else, a battery. So all these widgets are part of the dashboard that we all know and love. And now we have also added them as part of the CRM in the item card. So what do I mean by that? So in my example, I have the accounts board, and I have a list of all the accounts that I'm working with. And when I open a specific account, I can see all their details as part of the CRM, right? All of the information, all of the emails and activities, the contacts that are connected, and so on. So another thing that I would want to get is accounts insights. So now this new, something broke in my account. What happened here? Let's try to find a new one. Well, let's build one from scratch. So what we've added is the ability to add widgets, the widgets that you know and love from the dashboards onto the item card. So pay attention here. This is a bit of a advanced feature. So those of you who are new to Monday, listen carefully and read about it later, because what it means is that the widgets on the item card are going to be taken from the connected boards column. So if I have an account over here, for example, Pair Inc., then this account is now connected to a bunch of opportunities. And these opportunities, the information in this opportunity, in the connected items, this is the information that I can take into my item card. Okay, so if I have connected deals here, the pair deal, right? This is the information that it will show. Let's give it another try and see if it works. I think I didn't set it up correctly. All right, let's build one from scratch. So if you want to edit your item card or add additional item card like I did, you're going to click on the three dots inside the item card and click Edit Layout and Content. Now you are able to add an item card view or add a specific widget on a specific view. So in my case, let's go ahead and add a new item card. Okay, wonderful. Now we can add a new widget. So if you are already familiar with the CRM widgets, then you're probably familiar with the deal stages, the information, the emails and activities. But what I want to show you is the new widgets that we added. So for example, I would want to add the chart widget. So the chart widget, as I said, needs to be connected to a specific connected boards column. These are all the connected board columns on my board on the specific item. So in my case, I want to connect the opportunities. So now I am seeing the information reflected from the opportunities board that is connected to this item. Remember, we had there two items that were connected. So these are the two items that we see here. I'm going to select the chart type, the x-axis. In my case, let's say that I want it to be the status or the stage of the opportunity. Wonderful. And the y-axis, I might want it to be the deal value. Amazing. Let's call it Open Opportunities with the client. Okay. So what do we have here basically? Let's review it. Let's delete this and let's only look at this. What do we have here? We have the open opportunities of Pair Inc. And this information is reflected from the connected board items. So as we can see, we have 2 deals connected, and those deals have a specific value. And this is exactly what I see here, the value of those 2 items connected. I hope it's clear, guys. Like I said, it's a complicated feature. Feel free to ask questions about it, or just email us to support@monday, and we'll be happy to help you build it. Let's take another example, shall we? So another example would be maybe to take the numbers widget. So again, these numbers should be connected to the source in my board. So in this case, I want to connect it again to opportunities. And the number that I want to show is the deal value, or maybe let's do the forecast value. And now we can call it forecast. I can see here dollars. So now what I have is I'm going to Pair Inc. and I can see the open opportunities for and which status they're on, and the forecast of this customer. And if I move to the next deal, HSBF, for example, I can then see HSBF. Oh, I lost already $400,000. This is my forecast. Let's move to the next client, Moon, and the next client. So this is amazing. It's basically like taking a dashboard, creating a dashboard with all the data that you want, but filtering it to a specific account. So think about how you can take advantage of it and start building whatever you need and tailor it to your own needs. In my example, I'm showing it on the accounts board with all the connected opportunities, but you can be creative and do whatever you need. So explore it, explore the widgets that we provide, because there are different widgets like a text widget, the files gallery, numbers, chart, the battery. And also, if you're managing projects inside your CRM, you can use the calendar, the Gantt, the timeline, and so on. So test it out. Let us know what you think. Okay, I believe that was the last feature. I can't believe I'm right on time. I'm always in delay, guys. So maybe now let's open before the Q&A, I wanted to show you the 2 new features that are coming up, as I promised. So I'll give you a sneak peek into the future. We have new features for quotes and invoices, and new feature for email sequences. So let's start with quotes and invoices. I still don't have it on my demo account, so I'm showing you a nice video. But this is from the platform itself. So if we start again, basically you're going to have a board of quotes and invoices, and you're going to be able to build an invoice, a proposal based on the information in your board. It will generate a file. This file will be automatically added to your board, and then you can send it to your clients. So it's really an amazing tool that will allow you to build the invoices, the quotes, based on the items that you have on the board. This is going to be released in the next few months. Again, stay tuned. And we're going to release it in versions. The first version is going to look like that, and we're going to add, like we always do, we're going to add more and more capabilities. And the second feature is email sequences. The ability to create email sequences inside Monday. I showed you how you can use emails and activities and create emails in Monday, create mass emails in Monday. But this feature is going to allow you to create a sequence. So as you can see in the video, whenever I create a lead comes in, I can decide that this specific lead on day 1 is going to receive a specific email, and I'm going to receive a task, a notification. Then, if this person hasn't answered in 3 days, it will automatically send them a follow-up email. Then, if it's been 10 days, then it will remind me to call them. So you can create this type of sequence however you see fit, and based on status columns, enroll those sequences on your clients. So this feature is actually released in alpha already. So stay tuned. I believe that maybe next month it will already be in beta, and you all can enjoy and start using it. Amazing. So this was the sneak peek. And now let's move over to the Q&A. Okay. I'm going to open the chat and see all the questions from my llamas. All right. Okay, looking for a question. All right. Okay, we have a question from Amy. Will the integration with Zoom be only with Zoom or also update with Zoom phones? Amy, it's a good question. At the moment, the Zoom integration is only going to be for Zoom meetings, not phones, call, SMS. But you can always submit a feedback, a feature request, and this is how we make our roadmap, based on your guys' requests. Okay. Yay, amazing. Now, guys, I do see some questions about the API. So for any API questions, I do advise you to email the technical support team. Believe me, they will be much more equipped to answer technical questions than me. Okay, cool. Let's see. We have a question from Derek. Will emails and activities be carried over if I duplicate or move my items to another board? It's a great question, Derek. So the emails and activities will always carry over as long as you have an email address attached to this item. What do I mean? So for example, if I have this lead right now, right, that is attached to David, and I duplicate this item or I move this item to another board, as long as the email address is on this item, it means that the emails and activities are still going to be carried over and kept in here. So as you can see, it took all my email that I sent to David. Okay, let's see another question. Can I set an automation? This is a question from Judy. Can I set an automation to remind me to reach back out to a contact at a certain interval, not tied to email response? Automation to remind me to reach back out. Okay, so we can do it in several ways. First of all, you can set a reminder from here, like I showed you. Another thing is to create an automation from the emails and activities automation to say that when an email is sent, set the date to today. Or when an activity is created, set the date to today. And then you will have a date column like this. You can call it last update or last reach out, whatever it might be. And then you can add a regular automation to say when date arrives, notify blah, blah, blah. And you can say when date arrives. So the when is, 3 days after the date arrives. So then you have a date column on your board that shows you the last engagement date. And this automation will take 3 days after and notify you. There are various ways you can do it, but I hope I gave you an option to explore. Okay. What about sub-items for quotes and invoices? That's a really good question. Because the feature is not out yet, I'm not sure if sub-items are supported or not. But I will raise that feedback with the product team. And I guess we'll see when it's live. Or you're welcome to send an email to support team. They'll ask me, I'll reach out, and I'll answer. Okay. Fernanda is asking if we have an AI webinar soon. So I think that we just had an AI webinar a few weeks ago. So what I would do is I would Google or go to like the knowledge center in Monday. And we have like all the webinars in Monday. So webinars, monday.com. And you can check out the different webinars. I'm absolutely sure there's going to be one about AI, so you can find it there and learn a little bit more. Yeah, there's probably here somewhere. Okay. All right. Amy is asking how to suggest a new feature request. That's a really good question. So we have the CRM community. Oh, sorry, not the CRM community. I meant the Monday community. So in the community, we have here this section of feature requests. And this is where you can ask for features. The product team goes over it. Don't feel like you're just wasting your time. So you can either vote to an existing feature or submit your own. And I think once a quarter, all the product managers go over it, see what the community wants. And that's how we try to prioritize our roadmap. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Okay, we have a question to show the quotes and invoices section. So again, I only have this video, but in the next webinar of the new features, I will show it on the platform. All right. All right. Any other questions, guys? Please feel free to ask them in the Q&A chat. Any other feature you would want to see, something else you want to learn about? We have 10 minutes to take advantage. Okay, if you're ready to go, just let me know, write in the chat. Thank you so much. I really hope that it was helpful. We are always looking to hear from you. So feel free to email our support@monday.com for any type of requests, questions. I hope this webinar was helpful. The recording is going to be sent out later. Okay. All right. I'll give you one more minute to ask a question if you have. All right. And I hope you enjoyed Monday Mention. I always enjoy pretending I'm a llama walking around the room. Okay.